of this Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup final as the teams led out onto the pitch. Austin and captain Ilie Sanchez.
Owen Wolf has been hot over the last month, but they'll need Azuni and Rubio up top to do some damage. 1-1, Mukhtar and Surge up top. They've been outstanding the entire season.
Jacob Schaffelberg, the one introduction in from the semifinal, coming in for the injured Ahmed Qasim. With that, Mukhtar and Surge front two is plenty formidable over the course of the MLS campaign, combining for 38 goals and 16 assists. Surge, one of the Golden Boot contenders, as the atmosphere continues to build. What a night in Central Texas. The Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup final is underway as Austin FC host Nashville SC. Let's get away with it ahead of Mukhtar. Now Beto lifting it forward. Playing for those second balls here, Austin. Awkward there for Mayer. Being head all over the pitch. Eventually Palacio settling and playing with Yazbek, who just goes all the way back to Brian Schwake. Nashville showing in that last round against Philly that they can't play the beautiful game, but they can also get stuck in and play in a very physically intense game. And it was against Philadelphia, as always required against the Union. Now the referee, Torrey Penso, going to try and calm the temperature down a little bit as the free kick goes against the Austin captain, Ilie Sanchez.
There's something of note here, right? Every time the ball goes back to Brian Schwake, there is immediate pressure on him. 2 times so far, he's had opportunities, once with the left, once with the right, to make clearances up the field, and he hasn't got full purchase on those clearances. So I would imagine that's part of the game plan here for Nico Estevez, right? Get after the goalkeeper here when the ball gets back to his feet, put him under pressure. We'll see if it pays off somewhere down the road.
Has usually been the Nashville way, is just to play it direct and long from the goalkeeper, but changed under Callahan is chested down there from Schaffelberg, and Mukhtar off the bounce. Nashville getting the opening goal in the cup final.
Schaffelberg, it's Surge here, looking for Schaffelberg. How about the composure here? Just to chest this one down, knowing Hani Mukhtar is making the run in behind. And you put Mukhtar in that situation, and this is what happens. It ends up in the back of the net, goes through the legs of Beto. Nothing Brad Stuver can do. But how about the assist here from Schaffelberg? For me, an incredible play by the Canadian international to help Nashville up 1-0.
Benton towards Owen Wolf, controlling neatly and playing it behind towards Uzuni, who gets there ahead of Schwake. It's a penalty.
This is after the ball here. I think Schwake gets this one here. I think it's touched first by Uzuni, and there's Schwake with the touch.
Has to be the main man with the injury to Brandon Vasquez. And now here's Mito Uzuni, saved by Schwake, making amends for giving away the penalty. Austin's chance.
Now the question will be, does he move? It looks like his right foot is down. Not a great penalty kick there by...
Or wrongfully, but having the fortitude to make that save is incredibly impressive.
Yeah, really good save, really good read. Okay, it wasn't a great penalty kick, but you still have to go the right way. You have to make a movement. You have to stay on your line, and eventually you have to make the play in the end. But I still think, for me, it's really harsh to give a penalty kick when the goalkeeper made the touch. But nonetheless, we're still at 1-0.
Bucati taking advantage of Lovitz, who slipped, and off goes Osman Bucati. And still, now turning, needs an option, gets another touch away, firing it across, and Schwake denying at the near post.
Was to try and sneak it in that near post. Lovitz, you mentioned it, slips here. Bucati, we saw him right before the half against Minnesota United go in this same mode on the counterattack. This time trying to squeeze it at that near post. Schwake, it's at a good height for him to push it away. He's easier to make a save. Austin's starting to grow into this one now in the attacking part of the field.
And here's Wolf's corner headed away from Mayer. Lifted back in from Pineda. Headers off from Hindsight. It was only a glancing touch, and able to get that powerful header in. Let's bring back in our rules expert, Christina Uncle. So I guess I'm trying to bridge the gap between you and Tony. He says that the goalkeeper gets a touch, so not a pen. Why did you think it was a check complete?
Yeah, goalkeeper did get a touch, but the attacker here makes the first contact, and then the goalkeeper makes that contact. So Tony's not off necessarily in that analysis, because typically we look at, did the goalkeeper make touch on the ball before contact on the player? Here it happened opposite. Attacker touched first, then the goalkeeper touched, and it almost touched at the simultaneous time. So right here, attacker touches, and then he touches, and it's a little bit of that simultaneously movement, and that's why it falls to the referee's decision on the field not to re-referee it.
Yeah, me and the refereeing world are going to have to agree to disagree on this one.
Good thing you're a good man.
Back heel flick in towards Mouille, making a run into that box. Ilie Sanchez covering, but conceding the corner. Cascante going back to Stuver. Austin playing a lot in their own half right now. Chipped out wide for Pereira. Nearly losing out. Ball never went out for a throw-in, but given away there from Cascante. Austin look out of sorts into Schaffelberg. Teasing, and still Schaffelberg driving that line, but couldn't find the pass back from Mouille. Austin struggling to play right now.
This is good pressure here from Nashville. Mayer lays off of Bucario, allows him to turn and run forward.
An open space finally for Austin. Playing forward through Osman Bukhari. Has Wolf for company. Wolf has the option of Bidu. Will cut inside. Oh, and Wolf forcing the save there from Schwake.
Involved in this match. This time comes on the break. Bukhari spins around midfield here.
It was from there that Bidu was offside from the save of the shot. Eventually that flag comes up. Schwake, before returning to MLS, was maybe going to be a contributor, but is now one of the very best in MLS once again. Schaffelberg getting it from Nahad. Schaffelberg lifting in, it's dangerous. Into Surge, who won the header and needed that defensive header there. Heinz Ike, Taxeth involved, and eventually Stuver claims. And just that bit of chaos in the penalty area.
You get that with Nashville, right? With all the balls that they swing in the box. So defensively, you know you have to be active. Cascante and Heinz Ike, they'll have to be active even if they don't win the first one, right? They got to be ready for those types of knockdowns. Oftentimes it's the player that's most alert on either side of the ball that makes a play. Cascante not happy there because he has no options. He doesn't want to go back to Brad Stuver there. There's not a lot of movement ahead of the ball for Austin at the moment. You can see a lot of players stagnant. This is your center forward checking in.
Heinz Ike long towards Rubio, does well to win. Bukhari on the second ball with Ilie. We'll get numbers forward here. Dessler's cross, and arriving is Bidu. And it might have taken just the slightest of deflections before it got to him. Couldn't get clean purchase on the header.
Yeah, Bidu has a really good opportunity at the back post, and you're right, Chris, this may have taken a deflection because it looks like it wrong-footed him. It's a great ball played in. And keep in mind, this is after winning the second ball in the midfield. Yeah, I don't know if there's a deflection as much as Jason Palacios maybe. No, there's nothing there. Just throws off the sight line of Bidu. Close there for Austin.
Here's Yazbek. Big chance though for Austin, and a good delivery there from Dessler. Taxeth. Surridge. Recovered here by Dessler, tripped up there by Mouille. For Nashville, launched in from Lovitz. Palacios tries to flick on. Uzuni helping, doing that defensive work. Lovitz sending back in. This time won by Pereira with the header. Now Nahad from long distance. Andy Nahad, who has scored some world-class golazos, including in this tournament. That one off target. Here's Wolf. Bidu. moments they need to, even trailing in the game. On a penalty, couldn't convert it, denied by Schwake.
But this is Austin, right? This is what we've seen throughout the season. It's not always free-flowing. It's not always pretty. They dodge some bullets along the way. They create opportunities. Finding the back of the net the entire season has been a bit of an issue. Of course, we talked about Brendan Vasquez not being here, partnering with Bukati.
Ilya just about keeping into Uzuni. Uzuni! There's your response. There's your goal.
Potential offside, but this comes with a one tackle in the midfield and a great ball played into Uzuni, who has it bounce up nicely to him and slips it underneath Schwake, the goalkeeper, to equalize it just before the half. How about the ball played in? The first touch, looking at the goalkeeper through the wickets.
4th minute of first half stoppage time. A long throw to come for Austin, but it goes on the floor into Rubio, who will try and win the corner, and does so. Schwake catching it out of play, and it will be a late corner to Austin FC. Now this end of the ground, getting into the match. The stadium is filled in for this cup final. Generating the buzz again, Austin FC in this city.
Cascante and Brendan Heinzike will be your targets.
It's Pineda will try and find Schwake coming. Got nowhere near it. The header was on from Cascante, and it goes off target. Schwake leaping and flailing, but couldn't get a piece. Cascante's header bouncing so close.
Now they played it out to Pineda here. Just getting this one wrong. You got to go up and over. He uses his left hand here to try and punch it away. You can see he gets a nick on it here. It may not have been a goal had it gone in, as it went off of Cascante's arm in the end. But still a moment for a goalkeeper, Chris, where you want to give your team the feeling, a little bit more confident feeling when the ball is lofted in the air like that.
What have you made of this first half, Tony Miola?
Wild. Exactly what we thought. We talked about it for the last couple days, what it was going to look like. I don't think we've gotten anything different out of these teams. Good ball here.
Surridge judging it. Surridge going for the chip. Surridge! It lands on the roof of the net. Put too much loft underneath it. The offside flag up anyway. What a first half it has been at Q2 Stadium. And now Stuver will carry it forward to where the free kick will come from. Rubio trying to judge that header will come for Wolf. Defended aggressively there from Nahad. Schaffelberg given away. Oh, just as it looked like it had been given away. The halftime whistle goes. Pineda was charging. Corey Pensard to blow at some point, but as we're underway with the second 45 minutes, and Nashville SC visiting Austin here in the Open Cup final. 45 minutes and potentially 30 more to decide who takes home the 110th Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. Taxeth delivering the corner, and there's a man down in the area, and it's given us a penalty. And it's those two that were getting tangled before.
And we just saw it on the screen, and you see Pineda there as Palacios makes a run.
So a penalty saved down at this end in the first half from Schwake. Can Stuver equal that feat? Here's Surridge to give Nashville the lead again. It's down the middle, and Nashville back in front. Sam Surridge's 6th goal of the Open Cup, converting from the penalty spot, and Nashville in the lead once again in the final.
Wrong side, hands on the waist, and here's the result as he sends this one down the middle. I always say when you hit it down the middle, you got to take a little bit of pace off if you're playing it on the ground, because you got to allow the goalkeeper to vacate. You see how close Brad Stuver's feet are to this one.
Frustration shown from the young goalkeeper. Played 1 year of college before moving to Europe. Around Scotland and was last in Spain with Castellón in La Liga 2. As Bucati does well to ride the challenge there of Lovitz, and off he goes. Bucati slid across towards Usuni, but in the way, Walker Zimmerman.
Bucati just turned the afterburners on there, got around Lovitz, got past Tagseth.
Hindsight. And Bidu. He turned there from Wolf. Playing on for Bidu once again down this left side. Whips across in. Rubio fancies it. Comes all the way through for Bucati. And now Dessler. Under control now, Bucati. Turning the other way. Bucati whipping in, and Schwake
To push it over the bar. She's not in front of the goal post.
Crowd getting behind the team. Wolf will run all the way for Dessler. Will just live back in. It's right though, and Ryan Schwake. Easy work for him. Not taking advantage there of that corner opportunity. Now Austin's turn to go pressing. Get back in the game. 2-1 down. Nashville in the position they want to be in. And they hang on to the lead this time.
That's 15 minutes or so. Serge and Mukhtar have been completely invisible in this match. Austin has done a good job of keeping Nashville out of transition. Through build-up, they haven't been able to find those two players. The quality they have, right? It's just going to take a moment for the two of them.
Especially as Austin will have to commit more to the attack at some point. He played down the right between Rubio and Bucati. His first time cross is right at Zimmerman. Comes back to Rubio, who will lift back in. Schwake does well. Off his line and leaping and claiming. Drawing the attention of two has been such a creative influence in the team. Does well to combine and find the space. Inside, going over. Free kick. In a great crossing position for Austin.
Great crossing position, Chris, for sure, but maybe also a shooting position. The one thing you want to do if it's an in-swinger, it's likely going to be that man who got fouled, Owen Wolf, right here. Great first touch, gets in front of Wheel. In between the ball and the opponent, feels a bit of contact, goes down. There is the option, right, of steering this one on frame. The one thing you want to do in this cross is make sure somehow, if you're not going for that near post on the initial shot, somehow it's got to be in the frame of the goal. How many times do we see everybody miss it? Goalkeeper froze and ends up in the back of the net. Now, there are a lot of bodies here in the box. Someone should get a touch of this one. See what the youngster Wolf has in mind.
It's Wolf who whips in at pace, and Schwake was always going to handle that with a...
He's got a good spin on it for Schwake. Good
738 sellout for this one. So now the changes will come in. Dessler off for the introduction of John Gallagher, Irish winger slash fullback. It will be Ilie who comes off for the introduction of Hader Obrian. More attack-minded players coming into the game. Austin have to throw everything at it.
Well, he got four across the front. Now with Obrian on the left-hand side, Fodri and Uzuni down the middle.
Uzuni the target of that run. We will reach that minimum of 6. Surridge will play the ball. He's going to get a yellow card, and I believe that's
his second one.
He should be sent off for that earlier double yellow, and now the referee is going to send him off. Surridge.
Going and kicking it away right there. There was one coming by, and you could see it coming on the field.
And there it is from Tori Penso. Nashville SC have won the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup, winning their first trophy in club history and the first major trophy in the history of Tennessee professional sports.